Have you noticed that the social media game has changed? In this Word Made Digital tutorial, we want to talk about TikTok and the lessons we can learn from TikTok to apply to all social media platforms. Hello my friends, welcome to Word Made Digital Tutorials. My name is Joanna LaFleur and this tutorial is brought to you by Compassion Canada. A huge shout out to them as they work with the local church around the world lifting children out of extreme poverty. Amazing privilege to partner with them as we talk about ministry for church and for Christian charities. We're talking today about TikTok and what we can learn from TikTok to apply to all kinds of other platforms, because whether or not you are on TikTok with your organization, TikTok has changed the game. The first thing that it has changed is that we're talking about quantity over quality. Have you noticed that? That the quality of things seems to have decreased. If you're noticing what younger people especially are watching and paying attention to on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, wherever they're hanging out, the quality of the video or the quality of the photos have really decreased. And actually it's a style choice. It's a leaning towards a lower res camera, blurry shots, stuff that, you even see people holding the microphone in their hand and it's like thumping and it's picking up feedback. You've probably seen some of this. It's quantity over quality because TikTok, the way it works is it's trying to spit new videos out in front of you, trying to introduce your content to new audiences. And so it's really less about if you have a nice DSLR camera and great lighting and all that kind of stuff. And it's much more about does your content connect with and resonate with your audience. So that's great news for churches and for charities, especially if you don't have a lot of money, you don't have a big budget, you don't have fancy gear, and you don't have a big team. Whatever it is that you're trying to do to encourage, to educate, to inform, you can do that in a low res. So pick up that phone, talk into the camera, take the picture, screenshot a note app in your phone with your big ideas and get that content out. It's more important to be posting consistently, regularly, a ton of stuff because you actually just never know which of those pieces is going to click, resonate, and take off with a ton of people finding it useful to them. I know for me, I can spend a ton of time thinking about, and you've probably done the same, thinking about a piece that you think, oh, this is really going to help people. People are going to love this, or they're going to find this funny, or they're going to find it useful. And then it's like, crickets, nobody connects to it. And then something you maybe did last minute offhand, like a funny little thing holding up the phone, and then suddenly resonates and it's being shared and it's being liked and commented on and everybody seems to resonate with it. So focus less on how good the quality is and make sure that you just put out a lot of content that is bite-sized pieces of your ideas and your information to help people. The next tip then is about video, not stills. That's another way that TikTok has changed how platforms are using preferential treatment towards video. Short, quick videos are going to be a higher priority and more consumed by people who are checking out your content for your community than they are stills. So in the past, we might have said use carousel posts. That is a sliding post on your Instagram screen where it's a bunch of little pictures that they can slide through. We love that because it would keep people on the platform longer as they engage and tap through and slide through. Well, now the priority is video. And I know that can feel frustrating because things constantly seem to be changing. And that's why we want to make these kinds of tutorials. We want to help you keep up to date, and so keep checking out, subscribe to these tutorials if you want to make sure you're up to date in the latest thing from 2022 to 2023 and beyond. We want to keep helping you with this content. So video is the priority over still. So if you're posting a lot of still images, you're probably not going to get the same traction and viewership as you did before. So consider how you can integrate video. And the good news, as I already said in my first tip, is that it's more about quantity than quality. So don't worry too much about how good the quality of the video is. I mean, we want to see you and hear you, but if you don't have fancy gear, it's okay. You don't need that gorgeous shot on the DSLR camera of the perfect life and the perfect setup. Actually, people want really authentic, kind of behind the scenes feeling, documentary style content through video. So lean into that. TikTok has taught us that it's inspiration over intensity. What I mean by that is people want to be entertained. People want inspiration, fun, a way to make them laugh, a way for them to think more hopefully about what's going on in the world. The content that is super intense and serious it's harder to gain traction with. And so it's not that we can't post things that are serious and real topics. Of course we need to do that, but make sure that we're creating a rhythm on all of our social media platforms. Make sure that you're thinking about what the intensity is of your post, and if every post you're creating is quite serious, a heavy topic, I encourage you to lighten it up a little by having some of your posts feel a little bit more fun, maybe a little bit more just informative, and make people feel encouraged about the content that you're creating. Another thing that TikTok has taught us is experiment over set plans. The platform is constantly changing. You don't actually know sometimes what's going to resonate with people until you try it. So I encourage you to think of a few ideas of series. Maybe it's the story of how your organization got started, or a day in the life of your organization, or maybe you want to interview your staff team, or you want to interview stories from the community, or you want to show what it's like on a Sunday morning at your church. Whatever it is, come up with some ideas and then experiment with it. We don't know what's going to work and what's going to resonate with the people we're trying to talk to until we try a few things. So don't wait for you to have the perfect idea. Try some things and experiment. The next thing that TikTok has taught us is it's about attention, not retention. What I mean by that is that people are going where the attention is, and so we should go with them. People are spending a lot of time on TikTok, and we can begrudge, like we just feel like we built up our Instagram platform and we finally understand how the Facebook group works, and now we're getting less and less engagements on that platform. We want to go where the attention is, not because we're trying to chase trends, but because we care about people. We are in the business of reaching people, caring for people, bringing the best news in the world to people. And we can't do that if they aren't in the room. And so it can be frustrating. We're trying to retain people on our other platforms, but I want you to lean into where the attention is and try to have a lighthearted spirit about where people are and be with them in those places, because we can't tell people about Jesus if they aren't even in the room. So it's attention. That's what we want to think about. Related to attention, we're seeing yet again that the younger generation versus the older generation, it's the younger generation that's going to dictate where the attention goes. Once a platform like Facebook was a really cool place. I remember when I got it, I was a university student, and it came out when I was in the end, right in the middle of my university years, and so by the end of university, it was starting to be available to my mom and my aunt and grandma and my employer, and it started to become less of a cool place because it was less sort of exclusive. And then we went to Instagram, and the same thing happened again. Now, my mom and all the other grandmas are on there all the time. And then now, of course, it's TikTok. TikTok is a place where young people have gravitated, and so now that attention has gone there. It seems like we are all starting to move there. It's how it goes with a lot of things in our culture, that youth culture and youth interest tends to dictate where eventually we all go. So I encourage you to be aware of what youth trends are in focus right now. Not because we have to do them all. I don't mean we have to dress in a certain way or try to be someone we aren't and be inauthentic. But paying attention to where the trends are with younger people is going to help us anticipate where probably our whole culture is going to shift in the future when it comes to social media and digital platforms. So pay attention to the thing after TikTok. What is the next thing? I have a few ideas. I'd love to hear yours. Maybe you have a comment you want to leave about where you think attention is going next. But pay attention to where young people are going. The next generation is going to dictate where we all spend our time next. The last key insight from TikTok I want to leave with you is about discovery over search. So Google has built its whole platform around search. That means you have something you have a question about and you're looking for, and you go and type it in on Google, or you might look it up on YouTube, and you're trying to find content, resources, the store you're trying to go to, what time the restaurant's open, how to cook the chicken, whatever it is, you're looking on Google for that. TikTok is shifting things. It's more about discovery, because TikTok is on, as you scroll through, is bringing you new content from people you probably didn't follow. It might be along a theme of some things that you like. So if you liked previous posts about church or previous posts about cats, you're probably going to get more of that kind of content in your discovery. But it's actually helping people find things they didn't even know that they were looking for. So rather than search for something, which involves you having to know what you're looking for, Discovery is showing you things that based on your previous interests, you might be interested in and didn't know existed. Again, this is great news for ministry and great news for churches. If people are interested in spiritual things, if people are interested in questions about the universe, if people are interested in religion, if people are interested in asking questions about struggles and depression and anxiety, what if they also found and discovered your content there? Not because they were typing in Google, I want to go to a local church, or what do I think about the teachings and claims of Jesus? That would be how Google would bring them to your content and to your church. But in this case, it's discoverability. So as we create content that resonates with an audience, then we're going to be finding other people who find that content helpful. Overall, I hope you feel like TikTok is not just bad news and discouragement because it's another new thing to learn. I hope you're seeing that through these trends, it's an opportunity for us to learn, to grow, and to reach people with good news in entirely new ways. I'd love to know other ways you think TikTok is shaping how we're communicating good news in the digital age. Maybe you have an idea and you want to comment below, or you want to DM me. Would love to hear from you. But thank you so much again to our sponsor on this, Compassion Canada, who make this and a few other tutorials on this channel possible. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do so that you don't miss one of these tutorials. But I love what Compassion's doing around the world, partnering with the local church to give people the best news in the world, not just with words, but also with deeds. It's a holistic approach to helping children in extreme poverty rise to a brighter future. And so I think of a woman like Ria from the Philippines. Ria is an amazing woman who grew up as a sponsored child in the program. She was sponsored by someone in North America, and they interacted and wrote letters. She couldn't believe someone from North America would care about her life and show her love. But she said, knowing someone sees you, it changes you. And as a result, Ria was changed. She came to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. She's grown up. She's got an education, one that would never have been possible without Compassion. And Compassion sponsors people like you and me who make that possible. And now she's an adult. She's an alumni of the program. And I love this. She sponsors a child in the very village that she grew up in. It's one generation serving the next. If you want to be part of stuff like that, generational impact in an international way, I want you to go to compassion.ca to learn more. Well, thanks so much for checking out this video. I have so many other tutorials up here now from people like Compassion who are helping. So subscribe. You don't want to miss one of these podcasts coming out, but also check back in the archives. We've got tons of tutorials. We've got tons of podcasts. They're all here to help you communicate the best news in the world in the digital age. See you next time.